Let me tell you something about women when you're pursuing them. There's a difference between thirsty and desired. If a woman wants you, she desires you, then she's open to your compliments and your aggressive nature towards pursuing her. She's not going to label you thirsty. If you have no shot and you're shooting your shot and she don't want to get hit by your whack-ass bullets, you're thirsty.
Indeed. So it entirely depends on how you relate in her eyes to her. So the idea is this. If you want to have an actual good relationship with a girl, you need to be at least 2 points more attractive in her eyes than her. So if she's, let's say, a 6, then you need to be at least an 8. If she's a 5, you need to be at least a 7. If she's a 4, you need to be at least a 6. And if you're not, then she'll consider any attempt you make as an insult to her. Because women are hypergamous, they want men that are superior to them. So that is how you know. And it's really funny, right? Because girls call guys creepy, for example, but they're not actually creepy. They're just, in their eyes, unattractive. And so it's an insult to their character in their eyes for the man to pursue her. And so she calls the guy creepy. The exact same behavior from an attractive man in her eyes would not be called creepy. It would be called cute, you know, risk-taking, etc. All right, let's continue.
If all women are so different, why do we have the expression, know how to treat a woman?
And these girls have no idea how to answer. But let's do the red flag test before I answer. If girls are so different, then why do we have an expression that appeals or affects all women? So lots and lots of piercings. Yeah, that's basically the only red flag. Oh, the girl on the right has crystals. That's a red flag. The giant earrings. That's a red flag. Lots of piercings in the ear. Yeah. By the way, guys, each unattractive piercing like that is an end count of 5. You can make your own conclusion. Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. If you're liking the content new to the channel, please give me a sub, hit all for notifications. If you're listening on the podcast, give me a 5-star review, give me a follow. If you'd like me to comment on blog post, on a video, maybe a Reddit article, please send it to theheliosblog at gmail.com. Also, if you agree or disagree with the points I'm making, please leave a comment. That's what the comment box is for. Now on to the question, which is, if girls are so different from each other, then why do we have an expression, know how to treat a lady? Well, the reason is because it's treat us well when it suits us, treat us as individuals when it suits us, right? That's the point. So treat us like a woman is cultural brainwashing. The point is you're not a real man unless you treat us exactly as we want to be treated, right? So it's a form of control, effectively. That's the strategy there. So there you go. And if, for whatever reason, she's demonstrating something that's unflattering to female nature, then she'll say, no, I'm an individual, not everyone is the same, everyone is different, treat me as an individual. You see what I'm saying? So it's generalize when it suits me, treat me as an individual when it suits me. It's just power games in order to gain control is the idea there. Okay, let's continue. They can't answer the question.
Because men don't know how to treat women?
Wouldn't that...
I mean, that isn't true, although she's kind of telling on herself. When she says men don't know how to treat women, what it means is she has selected men that only, in her eyes, don't know how to treat her. But that she's chosen them means that those men are actually the successful ones. So you can draw your own conclusions there. Let's continue.
That imply that there's some universal nature that women exhibit?
Kinda.
Kind of. Okay. Humans, even boys and girls, are not that different from each other, really. I mean, there are fundamental biological differences, but in terms of, you know, if we compare ourselves to other animals, like humans are more similar to each other than to other animals, we have generalizable behaviors. And between the genders as well, we have generalizable behaviors. So it's absolutely ridiculous for somebody to say that there's no universal nature, right? So the answer isn't kind of, the answer is yes. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, like, so how should men treat women?
With respect.
Well, okay, I was let me predict what she's going to say. So yes, the respect thing. But basically everything she's going to say as an answer to this question of how should women be treated, every single thing she answers is going to be female favored, right? So buy us nice things, take us on nice dinners, do everything that we say, act as we want, you know. But basically what it amounts to is give us as much control, as much power as possible, so that women can maximize their biological strategy of AFBB, right? Of having a man for the genes and then having another man for the provisioning. And in order for this strategy to actually work, all men need to be taught to be good provisioners, right? So that when the girl needs a safety net later, they already know what to do, right?
Okay, but then why don't we just say know how to treat a person? Doesn't everyone want to be treated with respect?
Yeah, but
But that's not the reason, right? And we all know that's not the reason. The reason is because like womanism's idea, right, and the current social narrative we live in, which is the matriarchy, its idea is not to treat everyone equally and everyone with respect. No. The current cultural narrative is to put women on pedestals, to treat women as better than men, to treat women as upper-class citizens and men as second-class citizens, right? So that's what the interviewer is getting at there. Again, if you agree or disagree, please leave a comment. That's what they're for. Let's continue.
but I feel like men like constantly like catcalling and stuff like that.
Why are men taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men?
If they're raised by a good father, I have 2 daughters. I teach my daughter.
Oh my God. So the reason why men are taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men, is because of the current cultural narrative we live in, right? So I already mentioned it. We live in a matriarchy, in a gynocracy, in a female-favored society. So in such a society, the cultural frame is maximum freedom for women and minimum freedom for men. Maximum responsibility for men, minimum responsibility for women, right? And every single cultural lesson is implying that, or is teaching that fundamental concept, right? And so women aren't taught how to treat men because the point of the culture right now is not for women to do what they're supposed to be doing. It's for women to have power, right? And so men are supposed to be taught their place, also known as second-class citizens, and women are free to do whatever they want, right? Okay, now let's continue here.
How to treat men by example. You know what I'm saying? So women know how to treat a man when they're raised by a man.
That is true. Women are exactly. So if you as a father are a strong man, a strong male figure, then you have the best chance of your daughter turning out not terrible. Or for example, if you're a strong man and you have a sister, she might also turn out not terrible because of your influence, right? But this isn't guaranteed, because so many cultural lessons are in place, so many cultural traps exist, that the man might inadvertently teach womanist concepts when he thinks he's actually being a strong man and teaching the girl properly. Let's continue here.
How should women treat men?
Reciprocity is key.
Reciprocity is false. That is no. What he's actually implying when he says reciprocity is he's implying an equal relationship. But no, that is not how relationships are supposed to be between men and women. Men are the captain and women are like the person in the crow's nest, right? Do you see what I'm saying? If the person in the crow's nest falls off, the ship can still run. If the captain falls off the ship, it's total chaos. That is the way that relationships are supposed to be. But currently in the modern society, in 2022 dating, that isn't what it's like. It's equal relationship, equal partnership. But because women are hypergamous, they want a superior partner. If you teach women, if you teach men that you should have equal partnerships, what will happen is the majority of women will be unattracted to the guy. And so he'll end up miserable. So that is a very poor way to teach a man. Okay, let's continue.
What you get?
Why do women get so much more attention and validation from men than the other way around?
Why do women get more attention and validation? The reason is because men have 14 times more testosterone than women. Testosterone is what gets guys to go and pursue women. So because so many men have high testosterone, they are driven by their biological nature to pursue. Because they are the pursuers, of course women get more attention. And this transitions or segues directly into the concept of hypergamy, which is the idea that women then select the winners out of all of the thirsty men, right? Out of the top 20%. They choose the top 20% out of the whole group. Okay, now, just guys, I can't not say anything because, I mean, you know me, we have to mention the red flags. So, the piercings on the upper nose there, no. The giant rings, no. The giant fingernails, no. And I'll bet you guys dollars to donuts that she also has tattoos. So lots and lots of indicators of promiscuity, of attention seeking, of impulsivity, and these are all things that you need to avoid, guys. So just understand that there's a lot going wrong here. Again, if you see these signs on a person, what it means is you probably don't want to listen to them for advice, okay? Let's continue here.
Because women have hot bodies. We want to show it off.
Yes, you do.
Oh, no, that's another red flag, I'm afraid. The way that she's dressed and the way that she's acting is highly attention-seeking as well. This is not the kind of girl that you could ever have in a relationship. So she has already disqualified herself in the first 30 seconds of talking. So, guys, once you've developed this skill as well, you can prevent a lot of problems in relationships.
Okay, if a Chippendales dancer was walking the streets in a Speedo, do you think he would have the right to get offended if women were catcalling him?
No.
Right, so what he's saying is that there are ways you can dress that are attention-seeking, and you shouldn't be surprised when you then get attention, right? Because, you know, women say, oh, you're harassing me if you're, you know, if you're giving her attention when she's dressed a certain way. But the point is that she only wants attention from the top 20% of men. So if the bottom 80% are giving her attention, that's creepy, quote unquote, right? Even though she is dressing for the express purpose of getting that attention. All right, let's continue.
Do you think he actually would get offended?
Sometimes maybe, because that's their job at the end of the day.
Why are women more likely to get away with catcalling than men?
Because women are kind of prissy. So
That's not why women are more likely to get away with catcalling. The reason they're more likely to get away with it is because men are more likely to be celibate. Men are more likely to have zero attention and to welcome the attention. Whereas women are more likely to have a ton of attention. And so if they get a ton of attention, if they get unwanted attention, they can reject it. They can be upset, right? Whereas most men are in such a position of scarcity that they have nothing to complain about.
So I feel like it's more of a Kit Kat thing they do.
Because women are fucking goddesses and men suck.
Oh my god, what is she saying? Right, so let me point out something very important here. The important thing to point out is the following. That you're allowed to say that and the video doesn't get deleted, right? Or you don't get cancelled for saying that, should tell you everything you need to know about the kind of society that we live in, right? That you're allowed to say stuff like against men, totally, right? And be totally fine and not get cancelled. It shows that we live in a matriarchy. Do you see what I'm saying? If we lived in a patriarchy, you could never get away with saying such things about men. Because the role of men and their you know, contributions to society and their value would not be so disrespected that such an expression could fly. Do you see what I'm saying? Please leave a comment if you agree or disagree. Let's continue.
Would you be willing to trade the occasional catcalling and harassment if it meant that you never ever got any attention or special treatment from men?
No.
Indeed, because attention is the coin of the realm. So women wouldn't trade that for anything. They need attention like a flower needs sunlight, right? So you can't just have it disappear, right? Okay, let's continue.
If it meant you never got any attention or special treatment from men?
Sometimes.
Yes, once out of every 100 times I'd like to not get attention, but 99 times out of 100 I'd like to get attention. Also, does she have some sort of genetic disorder that makes her fingers shorter? I'm not sure, because something's wrong with the nails on the right hand. Can you see that? All right. Anyway, so yeah, that's like, you cannot make this shit up. Let's continue.
Sometimes, yeah.
Isn't that almost like saying I want to be a celebrity, but I never want to deal with paparazzi?
Yes. What it is wanting to have your cake and to eat it too. You want all of the benefits with none of the costs. But that is literally the creed of womanism, is all of the benefits and none of the costs for women, and all of the costs are then offloaded onto men. That's literally the entire that's the entire goal of the cultural movement, of the new modern Western religion that is womanism.
I mean, I think you should be able to, like, pick.
You should be able to pick and choose what you want in life?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should be able to pick and choose. Exactly. Because I'm not happy with all of the benefits I get in this modern society. I need more benefits. I need more to be given to me. Because what you're giving me is not enough. That's the implication there. And it's not just this girl that believes it. It's, 85 to 90%, if not 95%, right? So you need to understand that this sort of thinking is everywhere. It's not the exception. This is the rule in 2022. Okay, let's continue.
Wouldn't that be like saying I want to be a celebrity, but I never ever want to deal with paparazzi?
Pretty much. That's exactly the same mix. That's the little, that's the milestone.
What's the difference between the type of women men want to sleep with and the type men want relationships with?
Oh, you gotta be sexy in both regards. You know what I'm saying? There's a physical attraction and there's an emotional attraction. So you.
Okay, he's giving terrible advice, but anyway, here is the difference between a friends with benefits and a girlfriend, or a more serious relationship. The difference is that for a girl to have to be taken seriously, she needs to have the following qualities, okay? Fit, feminine, submissive, cooperative, and bedroom fun, loyal. If she's missing even one of these, she's just a friends with benefits. So that's the difference. For friends with benefits, all you really need is fitness. But if she's missing the other 4 traits, she'll never be upgraded past friends with benefits. So that's the difference between the two girls. It's encompassed in the Madonna Lady of the Night fantasy, right? But it's a pretty good heuristic in my opinion. Okay, let's continue.
Better have both for the relationship to last, my brother.
What is the purpose of dating?
Bedroom fun as an exchange for protection and provisioning is the basis of relationships, right? It's an exchange of value. But in the modern world, this exchange has become more and more lopsided, right? Because of social media, online dating, etc. Women their egos have inflated to the point where men need to provide more and more and more, and women are providing less and less, and so men are walking away. And it's no surprise that they do, because men they don't see the benefit of being in long-term relationships. They don't see the benefit of being in marriages when they're not getting what they want, but women are demanding more and more and more of relationships. Okay, let's see what this girl thinks the point of a relationship is.
For everyone, it's about not being alone, but
no, for you, it's about not being alone. For men, it's about bedroom fun.
For me, per se, it's going to be more...
Okay, so guys, before she answers, look at how she's constantly looking around. What she's trying to do here is she's trying to give the best politician answer possible. So if you ask many women direct questions, what they'll do is, instead of answering the question, they're going to try to give the best politician answer possible. What can I say that will make me look the best and guard my reputation the best? That is the plan. That is the play, right? And so that's why she's taking so long to answer, is because she is thinking about how she can best guard her reputation with her answer. She's not actually trying to answer the truth. She's trying to answer the best political statement possible for her personal reputation. And the reason is evolutionary, right? Women need to be consensus seeking and consensus based in order to prevent themselves from getting kicked out of the tribe. That's the idea. So that's what she's doing here. This is an evolutionary behavior in women in general. Okay, please leave a comment if you agree or disagree. Let's see what she has to say.
More sophisticated and more complete person.
Okay.
She's looking for a more sophisticated and more complete person than she is. Yeah, that's hypergamy. Cool.
Now, how is that different than friendship? I mean, basically...
No, it must be based on a friendship.
No, it must not. But this is the common cultural trend in 2022 dating for women to say this, right? Be friends first. Base your relationship on being friends. No, being friends first is just a way to, a heuristic to teach men to give up their resources for free without getting anything in return. So if you're listening to this, you will actually be destroyed. So please don't listen to this terrible advice. Okay, let's continue.
Well, no, I understand that, but I'm saying, what's the difference between dating and friendship?
There's no difference.
There's
no difference between dating and friendship. Okay, so she doesn't have bedroom fun? I don't understand. How could she be so clueless as to not understand that there's a bedroom fun component to all of this? Exploitative? I'm not really sure. Okay, let's continue.
difference?
There is no difference for me.
Okay, so then why?
For you.
I really like to date with my best friend.
Okay, that's... I don't know if you guys have seen Fresh and Fit. You know when they hit the button and it goes stop the cap? Yeah, stop the cap. Look at her expression even. Like, she doesn't even believe what she's saying. She like, to her, this is a joke. You see what I'm saying? She knows that that isn't true, that she likes to date her best friend. But here is why she's saying it. She's saying it because it makes her look best for the camera, and it makes women look best in general for the camera, right? And the point is that the truth is less important than group consensus, than group cohesion for the majority of women. And so that's why you get answers like this. If you listen to this stuff, you will be destroyed. So you need to be wise in your listening to advice like this. Okay, let's continue.
Right, I know, I understand you should be best friends, but my question is, why even call it dating then? Why not just call it friendship? Like, what is the difference between dating and friendship?
Maybe because sex comes in?
There you go. Finally, she mentions bedroom fun.
Okay, is it possible to call it dating without sex or physical intimacy?
They are just friends.
Okay.
It's like, look at her. She doesn't know how to answer the question. Like, do you see what I'm saying? And it's possible for women to have these this cognitive dissonance, right? Where they hold two ideas in their head that are contradictory at the same time and genuinely believe both. But the reason is because, again, for women, more than the truth, more important is group cohesion. But if you believe this stuff, you will be destroyed. So guys, don't listen to terrible advice like this. All right, let's go. Anyway, please leave a comment. It's possible that I'm missing something. So I'm sure you guys can add something to what I said there. Okay, let's look at this dating over 30 here. Why hasn't he touched me? 4 dates later and he still hasn't made a move. So I met him from Hinge. He's pretty cool. I'm 32 female and he's 40 male. He's a marine biologist, which makes him super amazing in my book. Okay, so guys, notice, when the girl gets past the wall at the age of 32, now all that matters is he's a job. He's a paycheck. You see what I'm saying? It's not about love. It's not about bedroom fun. It's not about him being attractive. It's about his job. Do you understand, guys? We get on really great. Conversation is always flowing and he keeps initiating dates. She's telling on herself, right? Before she was with Chad, who wouldn't initiate dates, but now she's with a guy that initiates dates. On our dates, we always have fun and laugh a lot, never an awkward silence. However, each time we go out, I'm constantly thinking, all right, today's the day he'll make his move and kiss me or hold my hand or something, and yet nothing. So this is what happens to girls, right? They spend their entire 20s sleeping around and expecting guys to be like Chad, you know, and trying to get bedroom fun on the first date. Then they go with an actual good man or, you know, a man who she's settling for in her eyes, and the guy doesn't make any moves because he's, you know, he believes in the old school chivalry stuff of take her out on nice dates, you know, ask her permission, buy her flowers, etc., etc. But you can see here, just by the nature of this post, the girl isn't happy and she's not attracted to this. So what that means is this is literally a divorce waiting to happen if they get married. You understand what I'm saying? And you might be thinking to yourself, OP, why don't you make the first move? Well, that's because it's not attractive for women to make the first move and they know it, so they don't do it. Honestly, good question. But I touch him all the time. I rub his thigh, put my leg on his, but it starts to make me feel apprehensive because it's not exactly being reciprocated. He doesn't put his hand on my leg or put his arm around me or anything. So then I start thinking maybe I don't want to make him uncomfortable, so I naturally back off. He doesn't exactly reject my physical touch. He just does nothing about it. Most guys would take my hand if it's on his thigh and then hold my hand. Anyway, so then I thought he might just not be into me. But he's the one that initiates the dates each and every time. So this is a girl that's complaining that she doesn't have Chad. She's now dating a beta male and he's not behaving like Chad does. So do you guys see how you get the cycle of Chad, then beta, then Chad, then beta over and over? Do you see now? That's how it happens with stuff like this. The girl is so used to Chad's style that when she gets a guy who can actually provide for her, she doesn't want that. She wants Chad again. So she goes to Chad, but then Chad doesn't provide, so she goes to the provider, and on it goes. On our last date, we spent 8 hours together, 8, at my apartment and still nothing. It's obvious we both enjoy each other's company, and I don't think he can say he's not sure where I stand because I physically stay open to revive touch. I touch him, etc. I don't even know what that means, but I assume she's initiating touch. I just don't get it. Maybe our love languages aren't in sync. Perhaps he's just a quality time person. But how? How do you not make a move physically? Anyway, at this point, I'm rambling. Help me understand my situation or give me suggestions. Please give me insight as how to navigate this. Thank you in advance. So I've already told you guys. This is just a guy who doesn't have much experience, and so he goes slow because he thinks that's what girls want. But clearly the girl doesn't want this. You see what I'm saying? And not only do they not want this, they never wanted it. They're just saying that they want that because they're trying to teach men to be these chivalrous losers that waste all their time on them. Do you see what I'm saying? All right. Oh God, am I going to read this paragraph comment? It has 400 upvotes, so yeah, sure, let's read it. I'm often attracted to guys who are a bit shy. I told myself I was going to be interested in, if I was going to be interested in shy guys, I better get darn comfortable with taking the lead a bit and initiating. Otherwise, things would never go anywhere. From there, I just adopted the fake it until you make it mentality when it came to being comfortable making the first move, etc. So here's what she's saying. The commenter is saying, you need to pretend you're attracted to the guy. You need to pretend you're attracted to the beta male to get the ring. You see? So you can then divorce him and take his stuff later. That's the strategy. Now, maybe your guy is not shy in the way you traditionally think of, since you said he's extroverted, but he seems possibly shy when it comes to physical touch. Since he's not responding to physical indicators in the way you'd like him to, I suggest trying verbal ones. As an example, while you're walking or sitting side by side, say something like, hey, I like holding your hand. Would that be okay with you? So this kind of thing, guys, this kind of thing is literally like, it's painfully obvious that women don't want to do this, right? And they have to go so out of their comfort zone to initiate and to be masculine. But that's what the suggestion is. The suggestion is be more masculine, right? Because the guy is feminine, he's not initiating. And the girl doesn't like that. You see what I'm saying? So guys, don't be this guy. I dated a guy recently who was really self-conscious after a tough relationship where he was made to feel undesirable. At first I do things like put my hand on his thigh and say something like, is it okay if I put my hand there? You can tell me if it's not. I never want to make you uncomfortable. In my case, he'd always say it was okay and he wasn't uncomfortable, so I'd say something like, okay, if you ever want to put your hand on my leg, I'd be comfortable with it too. I was mindful of trying to boost his confidence by giving him genuine compliments often, especially about how attracted to him I was. Oh, this is nice actually. When he was giving me kind of a shy, cute look with a smile, oh God. I playfully asked, does that mean you want to kiss me? Because you can. I could have just asked to kiss him, but I felt it was important to give him opportunities to take the lead too, even though I'm the one who made the invitation, but he's the one that kissed me, if that makes sense. Yeah, so literally what the girl is saying with her suggestion here is be the leader of the relationship. You initiate. You be the masculine one. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is why. This is what's wrong with 2022 dating, right? The roles are just destroyed because men have been taught incorrectly and so have women. And so you end up with this kind of situation. I found some of Brené Brown's stuff really beneficial in helping me step out of my comfort zone. She talks a lot about vulnerability. She has a TED talk. La la la. Okay. So, you see, It's just modern indoctrination and garbage. So guys, if you want to be this guy and destroy your life, go ahead, right? But I would never endorse it. Alright, I think we're going to end the video there. Again, if you're new to the channel, liking my content, please give me a sub, hit all for notifications. If you're watching, or sorry, listening on the podcast, give me a 5-star review, give me a follow. If you agree or disagree with my comments, leave a comment. That's what the comment box is for. Guys, thank you so much for listening, especially if you got to the end of the video. That's fantastic. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please remember to do all of the following. Like the video for the algorithm. Comment on the video. I respond to all comments and I'll give you a heart. Subscribe and hit the bell so you can see my content on your feed. Check out all of my content on other platforms. It spreads the reach of the channel. YouTube, bit.ly/heliosyoutube. Rumble, bit.ly/heliosrumble. My blog is realheliosblog.com. My podcast, bit.ly/heliospodcast. My Patreon, patreon.com/theheliosblog. You can also support the show at bit.ly/heliosdonations and buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. Thank you so much for all of your support.